feeling like we are set up pretty well for global political issues. What I've not thought of, what if it gets too hot where there's no grass? That's a freaky thing. Texas has not gotten any rain for probably the last 10 weeks. This entire year, we have been in a drought. We have not gotten any significant rain where the water soaks into the soil. Everything is dry, everything is burnt brown, everything is dead, and the cows are just having to be sold. So you guys, this is a scary time right now. I honestly did not think that this was going to come to us. As I'm teaching you guys here on this channel to be prepared, to get ready for a coming recession. To be honest, I've always thought, well, there are people that are not prepared, they're not ready, but we're doing good. We're sitting in a good position. We have chickens where we're getting eggs, not a lot, but we're getting eggs. We have the pigs, so where in a couple of months we're gonna have pork. We have multiple freezers, so where we have meat freezed up. We have Goldie, our dairy cow, where we're getting 1.5 to 3 gallons a day if we had to. She's raising a bull calf for future beef. We have Buttercup as a backup. Like, I'm feeling like we are set up pretty well for global political issues. What I've not thought of, what if it gets too hot here in Texas where there's no grass that grows? That is a scary thing right now. And I've spoken to 2 Texas ranchers. One is the butcher that my neighbor has used so basically I bought half a cow twice from my neighbor, and then we took it to a local non-USDA, so just personal use butcher. And he's like 4th generation here. His family has been in this area for a very long time. He said that he had to take 1,500 head of cattle, 1,500 heads of cattle to the auction because there's nothing for the cows to eat. So that started getting me a little bit worried, and it got my brain going of like, okay, what do I need to do to be able to shore up my farm a little bit? And then I called a friend who we've gotten hay from in the past. Is there any way that you have some bales of hay that you can sell me? He said, yeah, it's bad. 2011 all over again, maybe worse. One suggestion is to put a sprinkler up and at least keep an area watered so it'll grow. Maybe have to move sprinkler around a bit. Lots of people are selling now, and hay is scarce since almost everyone isn't getting the 2nd and 3rd cuts that they usually do. I got 6 bales off of a 36-acre tract that I got 74 bales on last year. Not happy. Anyway, I'm still short on my hay needs, so I can't let go of any right now. If something changes, I'll let you know. I'm running about 40 cows and only have 70 bales left. I'll be thinning the herd come fall. Prepare to spend $100 to $125 a bale for the big bales. So what this means is that everybody is getting ready to thin their herds. So probably what we're gonna have to do is sell Buttercup, our Jersey heifer, because I don't know if we're gonna have enough hay to be able to feed her. I mean, that's the scary thing, is right now we're trying to think of how do we get through the summer for maybe whenever the rains come back? Because most people, you start buying hay in the winter. This is where it gets scary. So we have, this hay is almost gone. Like that's what we have. And we're lasting maybe a month per bale of hay. Then what we have is we have one more over there. One single bale of hay. I'm freaked out. I'm a little scared. I don't know what to do. Like, I never would have thought that this is what we have to do to be able to have a homestead. This is, I never thought about this process. Somehow we're having to make the 1.5 bales of hay that we have last. This is how we're doing it to be able to try to recoup. Number one, you see the hay in the hay ring. They're gonna eat that because that's the freshest hay that there is. Then what cows do is they're very inefficient and they make a big mess all around. So what we're having to do every single day is we're scooping up this hay that they have dropped on the ground, and we're taking that. So here is some leftover hay, and we're taking this hay and we're feeding it to Bill and Missy. Good thing is these are Idaho pasture pigs. They can survive on the grass. That's their genetics. That's good. And they're eating it and they're doing good. And we don't really need to grow them out a ton. We just need Missy healthy enough to be able to have babies again. So we're still feeding them once a day, and then they're eating free choice hay as much as they want. Because the cows won't eat the leftover hay, but the pigs will. We're just taking the hay that the cows haven't peed and pooped on and giving it back to the pigs. And then in order to keep the pigs cool, what we're doing is, of course, we have a wallow right here. Here's a big old forest. This is western facing right there. So their wallow right here, whenever it's the hot afternoon shade, all of this is in shade, and this is cool water. So we're just keeping this completely filled up and lots of water for the pigs. Then what we're doing for the compost, to be able to keep our compost moist as much as we can, we're letting the hot water, so whenever we're coming out here to water the animals in the middle of the day, all of our hoses are it's just boiling hot. We're letting that hot water get out into the compost pile so that the animals don't get burnt by it, and we don't waste that water just by watering the ground. We're watering the compost piles to be able to get all that hot water out, and then the cool water that flows through goes to the animals. So then also what we're doing is we are doing sprinklers. It's not my favorite thing, it's a waste of water, but around the house we are running sprinklers early in the morning and then in the evening as much as we can, just to keep some of the grass alive. Of course, here is our garden bed, so we're using a sprinkler around there, which is why it's green over here. That is abnormal. Everything else is brown. So you see all this? This is where everything is brown, and this is the normal color all around the property. And then again, using a sprinkler to try to keep some of the banana leaves alive as much as we can, some of the sweet potatoes and the fodder trees. The bulk of the garden over on that side is on drip irrigation. This side is not yet. One thing that is good that we've learned is that cows can eat banana leaves, so that's awesome. So that's giving us a little bit of green that we can do. We don't want to let the cows in here because then they'll get in and they'll just compact all the beds. But we are coming in and cutting some to be able to get them some fresh green grass. So you see here, all of this is usually bright green because it gets water from our driveway down here, and it also has access to any kind of extra water from the garden. But look at it, it can't survive. It is just all dead here. Over here, all dead. It's just burnt to a crisp, dead. When I say dead grass, it's probably not dead, it's probably just dormant Bermuda, which the cows love, and it's supposed to survive in extreme heat. This is beyond extreme heat. And of course, just standard taking care of your animals, but I am having free choice minerals. This is not my favorite setup right here, but I'm making it work. So I have Redmond's mineral salt, and then I just have basic salt here. And then we also have them a molasses mineral tub. It's not the best mineral setup for cattle. I'd rather have free choice, a whole lot of different minerals. We'll work to that. And then for the pigs, I have their minerals. This is a swine mineral bag. It's called Next Gen, because Idaho pasture pigs do eat a lot of grass and hay. They do need a little bit of mineral supplementation to keep them healthy, especially during this hot time. Now, one good thing that we do have here on our property that lots of big ranchers don't have is the fact that we have been intentionally rotating our animals. And the back part of our property has really never been used fully. So if I was in a pinch and we needed to be able to bring them back here early in the morning and in the evenings, they can find some browse. Like, I'm really impressed at how much they are eating some of the forage, some of the yopon in here. It's not their favorite thing. They'd rather be eating grass, but at least they are eating some of it. And that means that can hopefully get us through some of these hotter times, because we're not even in August yet, and August is our hottest month. This is survival, y'all. This is absolutely survival. So for the chickens and the ducks, we're not worried that much about them. They have all of this forest to get out of the heat in the shade. Then we also are giving them plenty of clean water every day, and then also they have their pocket pond to be able to get in if something happens with the water. But we're coming out every day in the middle of the day, refilling their waters. Fairly basic for the birds, just keep them having fresh water. Okay, probably the last thing that I'm doing, I'm keeping a mister on them, mainly for Goldie, just because she is so valuable to us that I want to keep her safe and healthy as much as we can. So I'm having this little ghetto rigged mister on her basically all day long. So a little water shooting out. Once it gets a little hotter today, she's gonna find a place and she'll lay down right over here, and she'll just sit in the nice stream of consistent mist. There's Goldie hanging out in the mist. And if you're in the Central Texas area and you're looking to buy a Jersey heifer, purebred Jersey, we might be shopping around Buttercup